Hey guys, welcome back to my channel again. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. Please don't forget to subscribe before you do anything else. Before we dive into this whole entire video, don't forget to do that. And yeah, I think this is something that I just felt like I needed I wanted to actually just come on here and share. And it's actually so funny that today is literally the day that I have to go and get my next shot. So I was like, oh, perfect timing. Actually, let me just sit down and have a chat with the girlies, because I've had a lot of people actually ask me, this is not just the typical I've had a lot of people ask, I've actually had a lot of people ask me a ton of questions on birth control because I've been on it for a while. So I have had my various experiences with different types of birth controls, because I've experienced the different types of them. So I think I have enough experience to speak on them. Obviously I'm not a medical practitioner. Please don't take this as advice. I'm literally just giving you my own experience based on what I have given a try, what has worked out for me and what hasn't, because I think it will be helpful to those who have asked me this question. Like, what are you on, how has it been, and all of that. So I was just like, you know what, I think I've tried like 4 different types, so I think it's valid that I can actually speak on this, because I have had experience with different types. So I mean, I'll start with the first one that I ever did try. I'm just gonna take a sip of my cheeky little drink. I'll start with the first one that I ever did try. That was what is it? Nodette. Yes, the first contraceptive that I ever tried was Nodette, and this was when I was in first year. Obviously, it was recommended because it's like, oh, you're in first year, so I mean, do best. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. Not that I mean. Not to say that anything would, but obviously, you go to the clinic, and they just advise that get it together, baby. So I went on a date, and the nurse explained to me all the symptoms that I could possibly or potentially feel. Not even just side effects, it's just like what could possibly happen. And I was like, all right, cool, that's cool. I mean, let me just give it a try, because that was the first time, so let me see how it go, right? And I was on a date for like 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. The first time, it was 3 months. And it was good for me, honestly. I won't even lie. Like, I think it actually was good for me. Like, my body responded well to it. I wasn't like on and off. My hormones weren't like jacked up. I didn't feel like I was not myself. It was okay for me. The only thing that I noticed that started gradually happening was the slight like weight gain. And the thing is, like, I'm a petite girl, so it's like it takes some, like, I actually need to be very conscious of like, what am I eating, what am I consuming for me to actually like see any significant weight gain, right? But it was just happening, and I was like, okay, this is obviously not my doing, because there's no way, there's nothing I've changed yet, like nothing has changed. But somehow I just started to see it, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. But I was like, all right, cool, it's fine, let me give it another shot, let's keep it going. And then only like when I had to renew for like the second round after the 3 months, because they give you like 3 packets, right? For like a 3-month duration. I was like, I don't know if I want to continue with this. And that was not the only little issue that I kind of like figured out. I think the fact that it's a pill it requires a lot of commitment, it requires a lot of discipline. And being in first year, it just was not feasible. Like, it just didn't make sense for me, because I was just like, it's either I'm leaving the library super late at night and I just get home and I crash. What time am I taking it? Or I'm in between, just running around between classes, or early in the morning. If you know me, you know I'm very shambolic in the morning. Mornings are just not for me. So always, it was never going to be a good idea for me to try and take that pill in the morning, because then when I'm like I'm a runner, I'm a track star the whole time. So I was just like, there was no time for me, right? And I realized that I started to forget in between, and it just started to kind of feel like it was kind of slightly started to mess with me a little bit, because there's this thing, right? Like, if you forget like maybe 2 or 3, you have breakthrough bleeding. How long it lasts for, I don't know. It depends on your body. And for me, it happened twice, because I obviously forgot. Like I said, I would just find myself forgetting, which was obviously not great. And that's when I was just like, I can't do this. I don't want to be on a pill, because I just can't commit to it. Not to say, I mean, there was any activity or anything going on, right? But I just felt like, just for my sake, for my own peace of mind, right? So I went back to my nurse. I was like, I think maybe let me take a break from this for a bit, and we'll revisit, come back to it. And I think I was off it for about, I would say like 6 months. So I gave my body a good 6-month break. And then I decided, let me go back onto a different type though, right? And I was now going to a different nurse altogether. I got a prescription from the doctor. And note that obviously when you get a prescription, you are asked these questions like, okay, do you want to take a blood test to see if it's going to work for your body or not? It's up to you really. But I was just really like, okay, I mean, I've been on it already. My hormones, my body, I think, has adjusted. So just let's try something different. And I was prescribed on Trifazole. What? Now let me tell you, Trifazole almost, it almost ended me. I don't know. I don't want to not recommend it, because obviously every single person's body is different. But for me, Trifazole, no. I said absolutely not. And this was literally after like 3 days. I was like, immediately no. Like, there's no way I'm going to proceed with this. Now let me tell you why. Right? Already as a person, I'm very sensitive to drugs, like any form of drugs. See that little pamphlet that we don't read that's inside the box? That one where you get the pills that we don't read? Yeah. All those symptoms, those side effects, all that shit, it happens to me. The headaches, the nausea, the what is it? Blurred vision. Everything you could possibly imagine happens to me when I take pills. So I mean, I've tried to be optimistic over the years. I'm like, maybe, I mean, it's not gonna be that bad, right? Cool. I went on to Trifazole. First day was, I thought maybe I was just tired. I was like, yeah, maybe I had a long day. So maybe I'm just fatigued, because I literally went home and I crashed. I crashed like immediately. I couldn't like see myself. I just needed to lie down, right? And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe it's just the first day. Second day, I woke up and I was throwing up. And I'm like, bitch, I don't throw up ever. Like, ever, okay? Okay, I throw up only if I'm like really suffering. That's when you know that I'm down bad. Like when I am sick, that's when I will chant. Otherwise, I can handle it and I'll just keep it pushing. That happened the whole day. I was so tired. I was literally like fatigued. My body, my bones hurt. Everything was painful. I had a headache. I had to just lie down the whole day. I was like, cool. That's that. Cool. Sharp. Day 2. All right. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Let me give it a break. you know, let's see, skipped one day. And I was fine. I was actually okay the next day. I was like, all right, okay, I feel like myself again. And that's when I realized that this has everything to do with this pill. And I think it's just not responding well, or I'm not responding well to it. My body is just, they're not really syncing. And that's when I went back to the nurse and I was like, I have to get off this. Please, can I have something else? Because this is not going to work out for me. And she's like, all right, cool. We can try Depo. So at first I'm like, what is Depo? Because, like, is that the chip in the arm? Because that's crazy. 5 years? I don't know. And, I mean, I was still young, so it's not like really. But anyway, I was just like, obviously, I was obviously like, I don't know, like not scared, but skeptical because I never had something like that. Like I never had like such a serious, you know, procedure. It's not even a procedure, I'm being so dramatic. But anyway, she's like, it's just an injection. Don't worry, it lasts for 3 months. You come back after 3 months and you take another shot that's gonna last for 3 months and you keep it going for as long as you want it to, right? And I was like, that sounds like a plan, because I don't need to take no damn pills. I don't have to worry about forgetting. I don't have to worry about, like, you know, if I miss a day, what's gonna happen. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. This actually, I love it for me. And I got the Depo, and when I tell you, it has worked so well for me over the years. I think I've been on Depo for like 3 years, 3.5. Yeah, it's been a long time. Okay, it's been a long time that I've been on it, and it's worked so well for me. I haven't had any problems with like my body, like weight gain, or like my appetite, or my skin, or my hormones, or like everything. I've just felt like myself for the longest time. And I know a lot of people obviously have different reactions to these contraceptive methods, which is why I keep on reiterating and say that everybody's gonna have a different reaction. We're not all the same. I'm just speaking of my own experience, because someone else could have the same exact experience as I did, right? So yeah, I was like, okay, cool, this is working fine, I love it. And then there was a glitch in the system at some point. I think, when was this? It was like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. No, it was 4 months ago. 4 months ago. Anyway, apparently there was like a shortage of Depo in this South Africa. I was like, but how? Anyway, I literally called every single pharmacy. I'm like, please help me now. And that's the thing, like, it was now like way overdue to a point where I couldn't even like ignore it anymore, because you have a window of like 7 days after like your last shot, like when it's due. You have a window of like 7 days. And it was past 7 days. I was going on to 10, and I was like, ooh, you guys want to fuck with my system now, right? So I need to get it out immediately. Luckily enough, I found a pharmacy close to where I live, and they're like, we don't have Depo, that's for sure, but we do have, hold on, let me just get how I'm gonna pronounce it right. Norstrut. Yes, Norstrut. Yes, Norstrut. She was like, yes, we have Norstrut, don't worry, you can come through. It's basically like Depo, but it's for 2 months. And I was like, obviously I was not keen to change anything, because I'm like, now my body has to readjust to the hormones and that. Obviously, in as much as you're telling me it's the same, it's not obviously going to be 100% identical, which means whatever is in that shot I don't know, it's not going to be exactly the same, so which means my body needs to readjust to whatever's in that thing. And as much as the hormones that are blocking the ovulation are doing what they're doing, I don't know. So I was a bit skeptical, but I was like, what can I do at this point? Desperado, I need it. And so I got it, and when I tell you, I also don't like that one. I really don't. I don't like it. My entire face broke out. My forehead was a fortress of pimples. I literally woke up one day, like 2 days after I got it. I had a breakout, and you have a breakout, the one that you can ignore, and then you have the breakout you have to pop. Like, you gotta go one by one, pop, 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 just pop them, just finish, just get over and done with it. That's what I had, and I was like, yeah, I'm in hell for sure. That was all over my forehead, and then just maybe a little bit around like this area of my face, and a bit on my chin. Oh, baby, I said no ways. I don't actually, like, I don't break out. I've never had like a problem skin or like a acne prone skin. So that I was terrified. I was like, what is happening to me? And that's when I knew that it has to be this shot, because every time I have like a different body reaction, I always kind of backtrack to, what did I eat? What did I consume? What did I drink? What, like, I always want to kind of get to the bottom of it so that I make sure that it doesn't happen again, right? I try to prevent it as much as possible. In this case, it's in my system though. It is reversible, I think. Yeah, it is reversible. But I was just like, well, then what? They don't have depot, so how am I reversing to what? Like, what's gonna happen, you know? There was the breaking out, and then there was the hormonal mood, the feelings. I was just like, I didn't even know what was wrong, you know? And you just like, you feel like you're sad, but then when you really try and like, I'm very like self-aware and very self-introspective, and I always think to myself like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I sad? Why am I crying? I just didn't know why. I would literally just be sad. Like, I would just cry. Like, I would be in hell. Like, I'd be so sad. I wake up in the morning and little things would trigger me. Like, if you just change the tone when you're speaking to me, I'm like, oh, okay. Are you fighting with me? Are you upset at me? Do you hate me? I became a literal psychopath just in my head though. Like, it was just going, thoughts just swimming in my head, and it's not even happening in real life, but it's just like my hormones, my mental health was just jacked up. Everything was just like off. Like, everything was off, and I just knew that it has everything to do with this injection, because what else could it be? Like I said, I literally sat and I was like, why am I sad? What's wrong? I can't pinpoint. I can't figure it out. There's nothing that I can possibly be like, that's it right there. That's it. So I'm like, why? Why am I thinking like this? And unfortunately, I had to wait it out for 2 months until I could go back for the next round, and luckily enough they had depot again, which really saved my life, and I went back on it, and ever since then I've been feeling back to myself again. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the cramping I had in those 2 months. I can't tell you, every single day. Like, can you imagine cramps every day? Not that they would be like going on the whole day, no, but like they would come and go. It's like, you know, they visit you when you don't need them to, and then they go away. And it just became like such it would be depressive, because if you guys, cramps, you just have to just fold yourself like this and just suffer, okay, until it's gone. You can't soldier on when you have cramps of any sort, whether it's period cramps, I don't know, whatever cramps, right? Down here, it's just not it. So I went through like phases of that, you know, continuously every other day, and I was just like, I am so sick and tired of this. As soon as this round is over, I am going back onto Depo, and I've been on Depo ever since, and I've been happy ever since. And my skin started breaking out, it started clearing out. I was like, I'm so happy. So I've been so happy, and just been in a good mood since, because the fluctuation, I wasn't fucking with it at all. And I'm just glad that, you know, I'm back to, like, my hormones are balanced once again. But yeah, that's pretty much been my journey. It's been Nudette, Trifazole, Nuristerat, and Depo. Yeah, and I'd say out of everything, I'd obviously recommend Depo according to what I've experienced. Now, like I said, I'm not a medical practitioner. I don't have all the answers, and that's why it's important for you to ask your gynae or your nurse or your GP, like whoever takes care of you. Just ask them for advice, and maybe take like a blood test if you're really skeptical if something's gonna work for you or not. And also just give a try to what you feel like is most comfortable for you, and you never know if it's something that could ride with you for a long time, or you might need to switch up again, just like I did, until you find something that really works out for you. A lot of people do try the IUD, or what's that? The IUD. I was like the IUD, the IUD, or the coil, I think. Yeah. And quite a number of people have said that it works really well for them. So, like I said, it's something that you always are going to have to try different versions of, to find what works for your body and what responds best for you and your body and your hormones, before you settle for something long term. I mean, obviously for me, I will get to a time or a point where I will get off it when I am ready to. I have no pressure whatsoever. I'm gonna get off it when I feel like I'm ready to, when I want to, and yeah. So for now, I'm happy on Depo, and I'm gonna continue riding with my girl, which has been good to me. But nonetheless, though, I hope this has been helpful to anyone who's been wondering how the journey is like, how the side effects are like, and how it can respond to you and different body types, and ask for advice from somebody who knows what they're doing, and somebody who also has had vast you know, like, I would say, like, channels of information or experiences from, like, their patients and whatnot, so then they can actually, like, maybe give you statistics as to what works best for, you know, different various types of women, so you know where you stand. But yeah, that's pretty much been my experience, my journey. If you're wondering where I get my shot, I get my shot from Discam. Most of the time, I will go to clicks only if my nurse is not in. But I've been going to the same person for the past 2 years. So, yeah. I think you can get it from any pharmacy, really, honestly. As long as the pharmacy has a clinic, you're good to go. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I've covered everything, guys. I think if you have any questions, or if you want to know more about, like, you know, how it's been, like, if you have extended questions, like, you know, yeah, you can ask me in the DMs, or you can comment down below, and I'll be sure to answer that, and I'll get back to you. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on my next